Hi everyone, my name is Mohammad. I'm a third year student at the University of Ottawa studying a bachelor's in mechanical engineering and computation technology.
My name is Anick and I'm in third year of chemical engineering at the University of Ottawa.
Hi, my name is Sagal. I'm a third year software engineering student at the University of Ottawa. I am currently the academic coordinator of the Software Engineering Students Association.
Hi, my name is Charbel. I'm in my fourth year of biomedical mechanical engineering at the University of Ottawa.
I decided to pursue studies in engineering because as long as I remember, I've enjoyed building things. I've liked creating things. From imagining full cities using Lego blocks to working with 3D puzzles to even working on Arduino projects, I've had this compelling attraction to building stuff. For this reason, I chose this program, which is mechanical engineering with the added program of computation tech. This provides me the benefit of physical components, and computation tech introduces me to the software element that is a part of design at all times.
I decided to pursue studies in engineering for many reasons. I've always been the type of person who's interested in STEM-related programs and fields. In high school, I would always participate in my school's chemistry related and robotics related competitions. So it just felt like a natural transition for me. When it came time for me to make my choice in grade 12 to decide what program I was going into, I initially wanted to go for a more science-driven path, and so I talked to my chemistry and biology professors in high school at the time, and who had done biochemistry master's degrees and PhD degrees, and had actually gone to do research in a professional environment for organizations. I don't remember. And they explained to me how the main issue with the science research related field was the competitiveness, and I don't know, the way that they explained it, it seemed like they were super interested in it at the time, and for me it just didn't seem that interesting for me. So I decided to talk to my family and ask them what they thought I should do, because I was confused and I didn't really know what I wanted to do at the time. And I talked to my sister, who had just finished graduating from the University of Ottawa in engineering as well, and she explained to me that engineering wasn't all about physics and thermodynamics, and there's a whole bunch of stuff that are not only related to mechanical engineering or biomedical engineering that you could do, that I could do actually, that would be of interest. And so I looked into the different programs that were offered at the University of Ottawa, and I don't know, the software engineering program seemed really interesting to me.
I decided to go into engineering because I knew that I really wanted to make a difference. I wanted to have an important role in case there were any problems, within the world, if there were any catastrophes. And I knew that I could be a doctor or, somewhere in the healthcare industry. But there was something appealing about being able to solve problems and come up with solutions to difficult problems, and being able to design different things and make things.
I've decided to study engineering at the University of Ottawa because it's the biggest bilingual university in the world. That means that I can improve my English and my French, and it will give me great opportunity for my future career. It's also a great way to find a part-time job in my field of study, since Ottawa have a lot of options and it's close to everything.
I decided to study at the University of Ottawa because for as long as I remember, the university has been my home. I completed a bachelor's in human kinetics as a previous program, and although I really enjoyed health sciences, I was compelled to pursue engineering. And with this, I reapplied to a bachelor's in engineering, and I thought, what else but the University of Ottawa? I was completely aware of the many opportunities the university has to offer, and to this day, I never regret my decision.
I decided to study at the University of Ottawa since the software engineering program offered at uOttawa offers students in first year to do co-op right after they're done their first year, which wasn't something at the time that was offered by any other university in the region, or any other program at the University of Ottawa to start off with. So that played a really big role in me choosing between the University of Ottawa or Crofton. I always wanted to stay home because I didn't personally want to go and study abroad or study in a different city entirely right out of high school. That wasn't really what I wanted to do, but I chose uOttawa because it was close to home. It meant a lot to me. I had gone to the mini enrichment courses when I was in grade 8, grade 9, and so I had gone to those. I'd visited the campus several times, so it just seemed like a no-brainer to me to choose uOttawa as opposed to any other university.
I chose uOttawa because it's really close to home. I live in Ottawa, and it was kind of a no-brainer. It was super easy for me. Commute a little bit long, but you know, you still get to save on money and everything, so that's definitely a bonus.
The reason I decided to get involved with faculty clubs and teams is because the amount of doors that open up just from being involved in a club are almost impossible to list. Being involved in a club and extracurriculars and teams not only develop your soft skills, contributing to team dynamics, social interactions, leadership, and even the organization of your time. It also embeds a set of hard skills that you would otherwise have never honed in on your academic skills or even in your academic time. Being able to program a robot to follow specific instructions, understanding the mechanics behind a canoe in our concrete canoe team, working with automation in vehicles, we have an automation team, understanding the essence of computer-based orthotics with uObionics, looking at the dynamics involved in aircraft in the aviation club, or working with the various vehicle competition teams here that we have at the University of Ottawa, such as the Mileage Club, the Baja Club, and there's many more. These provide you with a very unique type of experience that no academic setting can even come close to. Working with these competitive timelines and different personalities introduces a whole new world to an individual that can really help you stand out in an interview in the future. And being able to stand out in an interview is a very, very important aspect that you'll find in the very near future. In job interviews, they're most likely ask you to provide examples for when you actually led a team or where you were facing adversities and you were able to surpass them, or certain challenges and how you thought in those challenges and how you were able to surpass in those challenges. These opportunities provide you with these experiences that you can share to employers. Even when you're trying to build your own company, this is important because you're introduced to certain stressors that you would never otherwise be able to experience, and knowing these stressors beforehand would allow you to face these adversities as an own company or as an independent entrepreneur later on.
I decided to get involved at the faculty through the Software Engineering Students Association for the main reason that I wanted to be able to provide assistance to my underclassmen as my upperclassmen when I was in first year had provided to me. So I was very lucky when I was in first year. The IEEE club was along with CISA and I believe the Computer Science Students Association. We're hosting this Little Eng Big Eng event where essentially first year and second year students would get paired up with students in their program or in their faculty in higher grades. So I got paired up with somebody that was in their fourth year of software engineering, and I can't tell you enough how much that actually helped me to be able to have a mentor as someone who had gone through the exact same path as I had, who understood where I was going and where I was coming from, and who was able to give me tips firsthand as to how they had survived and how they had gone through the program was really helpful. So after I was able to appreciate how helpful that was for me, I wanted to be able to give back to my underclassmen as I was given the wonderful chance to have somebody to ask random questions to, even when I feel stressed out and I know that they have the answer. I can just hit them up and get them to help me out. That was the main reason why I wanted to do it. I wanted to be able to provide help for other people as I had gotten the chance. And so with the academic position in the Software Engineering Students Association, I'm able to host review sessions for first year classes for students who are struggling a little bit, who need an extra helping hand, and I'm able to open my doors to anyone who needs anything, who has any questions, and it feels really rewarding. So that's the main reason why I decided to get involved with my faculty club.
I decided to get involved with the faculty, or like through teams and all that stuff, all the extracurriculars within the faculty, because I wanted to explore what practical engineering was. So obviously when you go to school, you go to university, a lot of it's going to be theory and all that stuff, and you're really going to be sitting down learning, studying equations, doing math or whatever, what people usually expect. But there's actually a lot of opportunities to be able to practice proper engineering, practical engineering, get your hands dirty, essentially. And the way I first started off was with the uOttawa Formula SAA team. So essentially we just build a race car and we race it against race cars from other schools. And if we do well enough, then we can race other schools in North America and so on and so forth. Really, really cool experience. I was part of the engine team, and despite me not working on it too much, I still got to learn a lot. Even if it's not, biomedical or whatever, I still managed to learn a lot of mechanical knowledge, which is still within the degree.
I decided to add computation tech and co-op to my program for the following reasons. The modern world is built on technology. Computation tech has allowed me to explore an abstract ideology, one that literally makes you think outside of the box. Coming up with a more efficient algorithm, developing an intricate software to more rapidly execute an action that would otherwise take much more effort to perform is essential. People find that attribute as a virtue in you. This is all computing. Engineering with computing is not enough, in my opinion. As a matter of fact, any domain without a background knowledge of data analytics and computing is quickly defeated by the test of time. The biggest word of our generation is innovation, and to innovate is to introduce tech to your world.
I decided to pick a co-op mandatory program for the main reason that I've already mentioned before. The idea of being able to get your foot through the door into the job market while you're in university is just mind-boggling. Sure, a lot of people are able to easily find a job while they're not in the co-op program, and that's great for them, but I felt like I personally wanted the extra hand from the university that was offering it to be able to get my resume out to a lot more people than I probably would have if I was on my own. So I chose to pick a co-op mandatory program because I wanted to be able to alternate between school and work and know how it actually feels like to be in a work environment while having a degree in software engineering, what it would potentially look like, what kind of jobs I would do. And on top of that, being able to experiment with a whole bunch of different job types was really amazing for me because so far I'm in my third year, so I've done 4 co-op terms, and all of my 4 co-op terms have been completely different, and that has allowed me to try something out and realize if I like it, if it's something that I want to do, and to test out where I want to go with my career in the future, as opposed to being independently looking for jobs that I am not entirely sure I would actually enjoy. So that was the main benefit for me to be in a co-op mandatory program, to be able to experiment and to have that option to get help from the university to find a job when you're struggling. My transition from high school to first year of university was very interesting. It was quite humbling if I had to summarize it in one word. I always thought that I was the type of student who was like really on top of their game, who was great at organizing themselves, who always knew what they had to do every single day, every single time of the day. And I thought that my organization and study schedule and study methods were perfect just the way they were. And they would get me through university in a breeze without breaking a sweat. Boy, was I wrong. So something that I didn't mentally prepare myself for was the whole difference in schedule between high school and university. In high school, you're taught in a way that ensures that you would have the best chances of success. Whereas in university, I really feel like it's all about testing and like checking your dedication to your program. So it's not as easy breezy as you think it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that just because you're good in high school in chemistry and science and physics and whatever, that you're automatically going to be good in it in university. And it doesn't necessarily mean that your study schedules or your study methods that are helpful for you in high school are going to be exactly the same in university. Sure, I kept a whole bunch of the ways that I studied in high school that I did in university, but I had to adapt to the extensive change to my schedule. My biggest problem was really organizing my time. I thought that I was good at that, but I wasn't. In high school, you have 8 hours of classes and then that's it. That's the end of it. But in university, you have different time schedules. You have lectures and labs and DGDs, especially in first year. When I was doing my schedule in high school to prepare for first year, my entire schedule was just green and it was kind of terrifying. So my biggest transition issue was with the time management and how difficult organizing when I would study and when I would take little breaks around my lab schedules and my class schedules and my DGT schedules, on top of managing all of my projects and assignments and homeworks, and yeah. So time management was the biggest transitional issue for me. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything was hectic and chaotic. There are a lot of resources available at university, which I didn't realize until I think late into my second semester of first year, that are there to help you study, especially for first year classes, first and second year classes. A lot of people have taken those classes before, so there are a lot of resources everywhere that are available to you at hand to help you out.
My transition between high school and my first year of university went better than I was expected. Ottawa is super close to everything, so it was very easy for me to get to know the city, go do my groceries since it's very close, there's library and the campus, and you have also a bus pass, which was easy for me to move around. Also, I've used the Student Help Center. They have great people over there with experience and they will listen to you and give you good advice. Going to the Help Center allows me to make new friends and learn in a better way. I was able to ask questions if I was too shy to ask them in class.
Really, if I had any advice to first years, it would definitely be to university's fun. Well, it would be to study hard because university is plenty of fun. You get the opportunity to meet a bunch of people, do a bunch of really, really cool stuff. But make sure that you're getting your job done first, because that's why you're here. So make sure you've got good study schedule, good studying habits. If you don't really study in high school, that's gonna have to change here. So I strongly suggest you pick up some good studying habits or whatever, and wish you guys the best of luck when you guys come to uOttawa Engineering.
My advice to future students will be to use your resources. Work in team, go see your teacher at their office hour, and use the help center. It's a great way to ask questions when you're too shy or the class is going too fast during the lecture. It's important to use your resources right away before you become overwhelmed.
My advice to first year students, at least the first year me, would be as following. Don't get intimidated by other people's success. People move however fast they're meant to move and go wherever they're meant to go. Don't get intimidated by where people around you are going. Just focus on where you want to see yourself and how you intend to get there for yourself. It doesn't matter what other people are doing. You don't need to worry about them. Just focus on yourself. Also, don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure. I feel like university has taught me a lot that you can't learn unless you actually experience failure. So it happens sometimes that you'll try to start a project or you'll come up with a company that you want to start, and being afraid to go ahead with those plans because you don't want to fail at them is the biggest hindrance that you could do to yourself. That's the biggest mistake that you could ever do during your university. University is there to help you experiment, to help you explore new ventures, explore new things that you never thought that you would be interested in initially. Try anything that you want to do, because being stopped by the fear of failure is going to lead to regret. You don't want to look back at your university years with regret. Just, if you think of something, get it done.
My advice to a first year student going to the University of Ottawa or to any university is and I'm sure you hear this everywhere, and I'm going to say it here as well. Learn to be proactive and productive. Always get a schedule for yourself. This time, there will be no teacher to help you out. Make sure that you learn to work with your weaknesses so they become strengths. What does that mean? It means whenever you don't understand something, immediately go ask the professor for help. Don't wait, don't let time eat you up. It's time to immediately act on it. Be productive, be proactive. Don't let yourself be lost in certain knowledge that's not quickly attainable by you. There are many sources, be it from online sources to books to the individuals teaching you to classmates. Use them to your advantage and understand the material as effectively as possible. Master the content. Don't wait. One piece of advice that I really found useful to myself is learn how to teach the material. If you're able to teach what you're studying, then you are definitely ready to take a test. That is all I have to say.